I see you. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Terry James, Mindset Coach and Digital Coach and Digital Entrepreneur here for you. Coming live with a little bit of breaking news today. Talk all of things about Boris and a little special announcement, if you hang around to the end, how you can get involved with the REBOOT U'22 starting a launch and opening it up for you guys at this weekend. So I'm going to spend the next few days drip feeding some information and giving you guys a little tickler and a teaser into what we're going to be doing from next week away from mainstream media, which is quite cool. So give yourself a round of applause for being here. You made it. It's Wednesday. Bloody hell, if you're in the UK since the weekend, it has been miserable, very, very miserable weather. Well, it is the UK. We love to talk about the weather, and it rains a hell of a lot here. But I didn't really notice liquid sunshine that much. But yes, it's overcast. Yes, it's bloody cold. And yes, low-lying cloud. It's all a bit shit. But I wanted to come out and speak today a little bit about, Boris. Boris pulling out some big guns as the world's going completely imploding, bonkers mad with restrictions, lockdown, people pointing fingers at the anti-vaxxers. It's all their fault. They're to blame. Other people basically blind, indoctrinated, hypnotized by the masses and the mainstream media to actually comply and agree and just go along with the narrative, really, which is quite absolutely fucking disgusting if you ask me. But hey, it's never been anything different than that. The only difference is for me personally, I spent 3-4 years studying hypnotherapy, NLP techniques, life coaching, and hanging around with millionaires and billionaires, which basically are pretty fucking well clued up on world affairs and stuff. And they know a lot of things that we don't, us Joe Public, because they don't have the same education that we have when it comes to financial knowledge and wealth creation. They don't have any of that knowledge. So I seek knowledge, and I implore any one of you that wants to learn new stuff, stay in student mode, guys. I mean, if you're a millennial, if you're into your 40s like me, even I work online with people in their 50s, and we talk about reprogramming, about the power of our mind, the mind matters, all this stuff. And they haven't got a Scooby-Doo. I didn't. I did my first hypnotherapy course back in 2018. And the first day I did it, when they turned around to me and said things like, oh, you've got a subconscious, you've got a conscious, your mind is always listening and taking orders from you. It's basically like a recorder, and it's basically downloading everything that's ever been fucking played around you. And that programs you. That basically, as a child, you're like a sponge, and then you create your own personality bias from all the shit that's been given to you and all the things you've noticed. You've been watching your parents, you've been watching your friends, you've been watching all these different things. And then that's how we influence, and that's how we become ourselves. But we often grow up. I know I certainly did. I woke up, and hello to the 20 people down there on TikTok. I'm actually going out live to like 10 places, guys. I do this thing called omnipresence. I'm actually live through a thing like a platform which goes out to like 8 or 9 places on things like LinkedIn, YouTube. It's all recordable. I can use it for podcasting, get the audios for clubhouse rooms. I've got all this stuff going on. And then I actually use phones because the reach is fucking shit if I don't use a separate phone for TikTok and for Instagram. So I actually use 2 phones, and then I use my laptop for everything else. So it's 18 of you on. Throw me up a comment, throw me up a like. I'm actually a accredited and licensed hypnotherapist and life coach. So if you've got any questions about law of attraction, maybe about anxiety, depression, I love going live during the day, especially on TikTok. We can have real life conversations about what's going on in the world. And that's why today I was coming out basically give you a little tickler, because I'm opening up a program. We're decentralizing. There's this whole revolution, this movement to get away from mainstream media, because even some of the words that I've mentioned already might restrict the reach. It might restrict how many people get to see this message. So I wanted to come out and talk to you guys about Boris's plans, which is move stuff around. Personally, I love getting involved. I've run pubs for years. I love getting involved with live music venues. I DJ'd and lived and worked abroad for a long time. So knowing that, I like to go out, I like to party, I like to do all these kind of things. But also, I know about how people are kind of indoctrinated, how they've kind of been like a awake, but this whole kind of how would I say it? It's conditioning programming through language. It's almost like this mass hysteria, this psychosis, or even like mass hypnosis that goes on through mainstream media, through news, through even the programs and stuff that we watch. And my eyes are only opened really to this by actually studying hypnotherapy, and more so when I did an NLP practitioner's course, which is neuro linguistic programming. It brought everything together, and it made me really notice about certain words, the kind of narratives that people play, the way in which people manipulate you with the way in which they use their language. And of course, like I started this and I said, our minds are always listening and taking orders from us and programming our subconscious minds. I knew that this kind of thing had a massive effect on me. It had a massive influence whether I was paying attention to. So you listen to people like Boris telling people a couple of days before New Year, hello Carla, hello Ali, thanks for jumping on down in Instagram. I'm actually going live in about 10 places at the moment. TikTok is it's a lovely medium. Throw me some love and likes over there on TikTok, guys. There's 19 of you on. I'd love to give you a shout out and say hello. And of course, you can always use this as a growth opportunity as well. So throw up some comments and stuff, and you guys can then get engaging with each other, of course. And we're talking about mind matters. The headline today was a bit of a news jack talking about Boris coming out. And you listen to half of what that fucking clown comes out with most of the time. He repeats certain words that didn't actually mean jack shit to anyone a long time ago. And he will turn around. I'll do my Boris in fact. Hello, get boosted. COVID. Yep. Can't comb my hair. Eat pies. Don't eat cheese. Stay at home. But I'll have a party. What a twat. Hey, but I like twats. Twats are fucking useful. And also we can have such thing as honest fools. I kind of foresaw it years ago when Stanley Johnson, Stanley Johnson, the PM's dad, was on I'm a Celebrity Jungle thingy bob. And I was like saying to my partner at the time, I just went, that dude's kid's gonna end up being the PM one day. And I bet that Donald Trump guy will be on as well. But hey ho, it's quite funny. I quite like them. I don't mind them actually, because they are twats, but they're kind of blumbering idiots. They're like most of us really. They're a bit quirky, aren't they? They they're doing their best. I mean, admittedly, they are puppets. I think Trump probably not so much. I think he's a little bit more up for free speech. He's actually, I think it's called something like Freedom, something like that. He's bringing out his own app so that people can have free speech. So Boris comes out and says things like, "Oh, don't do your." Don't do your goals, don't lose weight, don't do dry January, just go and get boosted. And you're like, are you a fucking idiot? Jesus Christ. People, Andy's coming. Hello, Andy. Thank you very much. Is he? Who's Andy, Molly, down there? Is Molly, is Andy the boyfriend? I hope not. If you're watching me and getting up to anything fruity over there, that's a bit fucking weird, mate. Anyway, so Boris basically will come out and use the same language like 5-6 times, build back better, all these different narratives, all these different like buzzwords that people use. And Andy's coming is from Toy Story. Oh, thank God for that. I thought that you was talking about OnlyFans or something. I was going to say, no, I'm not on there, darling. So they'll use all this language, which basically indoctrinates and programs us in a certain way. Okay. And then we start like normalizing certain language, which then, if you said to us 2 years ago some of the stuff that's going on now, you would have been like, hell no, sister, I ain't doing any of that shit. But now it's like normalized, isn't it? All these people walking around with bloody nappies on their faces, which is bringing down their immune system. I know a lot about breath work. I know a lot about law of attraction, about how our mind works, how our bodies work. If anyone wants to follow me, you can actually get into a private group of mine called the Personal Freedom Movement on Facebook. You can actually very quickly, very easily chuck into a search bar, personalfreedom.terrylifestyle.com. That'll take you straight in there. It's for awake people. I work with a lot of healers, consultants, coaches, people in the digital entrepreneur space, or people that actually want to learn more about digital assets and moving forward. So that's a little bit about what my Reboot U'22 is going to be about, because you also, by going on to Terry James on Facebook and things like that, actually on these channels you'll see a little bit of that. Mr. David Reed's just come on. See you later for dinner, darling. You can actually see that I've been on a bit of fitness journeys over the last few years, working online. I've done certain challenges, level up your life in lockdown. We've done challenges to do with fitness challenges. We've 21, what was that called? Unbreakable 21 days to create new habits and change your lifestyle. We've done some really, really cool things online. But what I love to come out and do these live sessions. I love actually people interacting with me and asking me questions about things. That's the easiest way for me just to very authentically just kind of come out with stuff, rather than me having to kind of script and go, oh, okay, this is my board and this is what we're doing and this is what I stand for. So Reboot U'22 is about, if you've been struggling, if you've listened too much to the PM and you've got a bit of global fear, it's kept you a bit stuck, you haven't set any New Year's resolutions, which I don't really like calling them that. I think that they're just a case of, they're just life goals, and that you should level up. But you need community, accountability, and awareness of your environment to actually thrive in any change, or in any, what do you call it, self-development program that you're doing. Okay, really, really important. So in regards to knowing about people being in fear, and I like to go out. I haven't been out for months. I've been really good doing different challenges, working online. And then this weekend went up to Sheffield with my online community. Out of 6,000 of us that work together online, 300 of us made it all together in one place and have a Rise event. So you'll see a lot of that on my channels at the moment as well, talking about the importance of community, the importance of creating digital reoccurring income for yourselves, whether it be a side hustle. I went down to the club last night, the club that I'm involved with, the Tunbridge Wells Forum. It's a live music venue, one of the only ones like it, a grassroots venue in the UK. It's a great place, great bands, some big famous acts like Oasis, Adele, Rag and Bone Men, and Ellie Goulding, Ed Sheeran, before they were famous, have all come through places like that. And it was the first time it had been bloody open. The only time it was open before, because of the Omicron variant and stuff, they basically shut it down. They shut it down basically most of December, and pretty much all of this month. It's been shocking. So it was good to get out there and to see some people about. So this morning when I woke up and I knew that there was some things changing, I'll just keep my eye on the cat. He's staring at the nephew's gerbils over there as they say, dinner. It's quite funny. So people have been living in fear for a long time, and some people believe it a lot more than others. Some people now are starting to open their eyes a little bit more and starting to think, what is the what is something more sinister going on in the background, or within push from pillar to post. These truths or things that aren't true now turning out to look like blatant lies. So it comes in the week where Boris turns around and says, next week, mask, COVID passes, we'll scrap the lot. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. No worries. Is this a case of him saving his skin? Does he think that this is going to make him more popular so that he's going to have more voters, so that he's going to save him in a few months? Or do we think he's fucking screwed anyway? But it's only a good thing, yeah? Who knows? Who knows? Some countries are being really, really bad. I've got a lot of friends in America. I've got a lot of friends in Australia. I actually know a few people in Canada and a few people in the Scandinavian countries. And it's very, very different everywhere. Some places, people aren't even allowed to go out to work if they've not had boosters and vaccinations and stuff. Other places, don't seem too bothered about it at all, and it's more of a case of COVID moves, not people. So stop the people from moving, and then therefore there's not a problem. I think that's what it was like in New Zealand, and it's slowly caught up with them. But more worryingly than that, inflation hits an all-time high in 30 years. So as we go back into not wearing or not having certain restrictions and mandates, certain things being scrapped, we've got freedom of travel, freedom of, well, maybe not freedom of speech. We'll see. We'll see how many people this goes out to. But we're not required to isolate. That's been dropped. You're not going to be required to kind of have a health certificate or insurance or like a vax passport or anything like that, so you can actually travel abroad, which is great news for me because I knew this is the longest time I've actually been in the UK for 15 years. The longest period of time I've been in the UK for 15 years. I spent 10 years in Spain and then I came back. But then every at least 9 months, I would then go back to Spain. I'd be there for at least 3 months a year. Sometimes I'd even go for like a month, come back a couple of months, go back for them for a month. I wasn't wearing. Well, I think the very first time I went, I wore a mask and stuff. But then after that, I've got a lot of friends, a lot of people that work online that are living in Bali, Australia, Dubai, anywhere in between, America, Vietnam. There's a lot of people traveling around, and hasten to add, traveling around freely. I personally spent a lot of time on trains in December. I was going up into London, from first class to business class, going on private trains, actually onto like sort of like commuter trains, going on the tube. And the whole time I was just kind of, and I was well prepared. If anyone come up to me saying, "Hey, you got to do this, got to do that," I knew what to say. I wasn't going to get upset or annoyed or argue with anybody, but I was prepared for it. Preparedness is one of our greatest assets we can have in modern times. Hey, Zazzles, I'm gonna throw something at him. There you go, piss off. That stopped him from doing that without me getting up. So inflation, I've travelled around and had no real quirks or problems, but everyone's kind of standing there going, "Oh, do we have to do this?" And then as soon as one person's like 300 people going into a town hall in Sheffield, and I'm stood there thinking that everybody's going to be kind of like masked up and going, "Oh, I've got my lateral flow, I've got this, I've got that," and I'm like, "All right, gonna see what happens here." Not a lot did happen. Nothing happened, and nobody masked up, and that's brilliant because I don't think we fucking should be doing that shit anyway. To be honest with you, there's such thing as immune systems, herd immunity, and if anybody, not to say that there isn't something that can hurt certain people in society, and that's great. But I do believe that if you're in a high risk and you need to be careful, and the biggest fear and the biggest thing that's going to bring you down is your thoughts, your feelings, and that can contribute more than actually getting a cold. Especially when people have like the nocebo and the placebo effects, it's huge. It's huge in in pharma studies and that kind of thing. People in placebo groups usually have better results than the people actually taking the medicine. So I truly believe and am a complete advocate for our minds are powerful. Our minds are always listening, and whatever we're programming our minds with and whatever we're telling ourselves, our internal dialogue, our language, how we're speaking to ourselves, completely has a massive influence in how we live, how we feel, and the actions in which we take or don't take. So that's why with like in the government and with mandates, restrictions, all these kind of things, and like I've had like family have a go at me. I've had close friends that I've fallen out with or just had to move away from, say, well, fuck that, enough of that. And thank you very much. I love a critic, I love a hater, and the more people that you get to move away from, it leaves more room in your life and more energy to spend it with the people that are going to like, know and love you, the right people. So I, even after having like a couple of videos of us like partying and we had a DJ there and it was a bit of a club atmosphere and there's hundreds of people, and we're let's face it, we're all going fucking mental, to be fair. We're all having a drink, having a laugh, having a dance, and why shouldn't we? No drama. I had a couple of people turn around to me and say, Oh my God, COVID super spreaders and shit like this. Oh dear. Sorry, I didn't know what happened there. Yeah, send me a message saying that, oh, COVID super spreader. And I was just like, are you having a laugh? You're having a laugh, and yeah, Jesus Christ, what is all that about? Good morning, and Owen. Sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm actually peeping around my phone to see one of the comments. And where is that? Oh, it's on YouTube. Hello, Anne Owens. Thank you there on YouTube. I would say massive congratulations to you, because the other day I had my first ever comment on a LinkedIn Live, and you are, my darling, the first comment, which isn't actually 100% true. The first comments were actually people putting their links in to sell crypto to people, but you're the first genuine one, Anne. So thank you so much for jumping on that channel, because that's what we're here for, right? So I I fell out with a few people that turned around and said, oh, I think it's irresponsible that you've said this or that you've done that. And I've gone, don't attack anyone. If you think that this thing's there and it's doing X, Y, and Z, and you need to do certain things or not go certain places and behave in a certain way, that's fine, brother. I'm just saying that there's, where there's up, there's down, where there's plus, there's minus, where there's light, there's darkness, where there's positive, there's negative. And we tend to have this balance right through the middle. I'm going to put this up. I don't know why, but I feel cold. I should put a hat on. I feel cold. So I turned around and I said, "Don't be attacking anyone." I did get a little bit annoyed in the end and said, "Mate, fucking jog on," because there's no reason why anyone should be attacking anyone. I think the time for us to stand together, whether you believe one thing or another. But I think it's absolutely paramount importance to have your eyes open. And we've all been indoctrinated and almost a mass hypnosis put upon us to believe the first bit of information that comes because we see it on the telly. But do you believe everything that I say firsthand? I mean, there's so many people now doing, like, it's almost like we've got our own production company, our own little TV shows and stuff, because decentralization from mainstream media and news is huge. A mentor of mine, Rob Moore, a Deca millionaire, he was at Simon Cowell's charity ball, and he asked him about, oh, you've stopped doing these like reality TV things, Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor, I'm, and this was from him speaking. He was saying that I'm from a property background, and I've actually been working in the influencer creator space for the past 6 years, and the last kind of year or so it's gone really, really big and huge. So what can you tell me from your perspective? What does that mean for you? And he basically turns around and says, well, we used to get 28 or 25, 28 million viewers on those shows. And now we get like 1.8 million. So that's huge amount of difference. Whereas someone can put out a good post and get 10 million views on TikTok or on a Facebook Live or on YouTube. If it's got, if it's polarizing, if it's got good traction, if the algorithms like it, if people have commented and all these other things. So anybody can get on board with this creator economy, but some people are going to want to do it like I do, which is like sort of inspirational, motivational education about what I've learned and how it can help other people. Where if you see me on Saturday night, you'd think that, my God, the guy's a comedian. He's just running around having a laugh with people. And laughter is the best medicine. But if you do take medicine, I'm not a doctor, so please make sure you continue to take that shit, okay? So Boris says, masks and COVID passes to be scrapped. Fantastical. Hello, Sammy. Hello, Moggy down there on TikTok. Hello. Nice to see you. Nice. Throw up a comment, throw up a question if you like. You want to know anything about mindset or any things you're struggling with. If you want to know about digital assets, Oh, Mr. Terry Hughes. Hello, Mr. Terry Hughes, giving you a wave down there on Instagram. Hello, sir. So there's this creator economy that's going on, a decentralization movement, a digital revolution, as it were. So people are decentralizing, which means that it's not going to be affiliated with your Facebooks, with your with these other big tech companies. So actually, you're not going to be restricted as much. You're not going to get shadow banned. You're not going to get deplatformed for saying certain things. I mean, I even know TJ TJ Fox is the #1 platform speaker and sales speaker on the planet, like business mentor and stuff like that. And he said something about, well, whether it's derogatory or not, but he got basically taken, he got deplatformed from Clubhouse. And Clubhouse, hello, Mr. Hughes. Good to see you down there on Instagram. Thank you very much for jumping on. Moggy, you said wallet and watch. Moggy. I think I know who Moggy is. Wallet and watch. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay. I think it's a friend of mine, actually, one of my besties, should I say, which has, I don't know, but I haven't realised that you're on TikTok, basically. I didn't know who the fuck you were. So, inflation rises right now. We'll get more onto point, a little bit onto some of the important stuff. Otherwise, I'll just stop all the streams and start again. But inflation rises to its highest point in 30 years. But as far as services go, we've never paid so much more for living, services, for energy. And I saw yesterday the first in the country of a completely cashless and, well, what would you call it? It's self-service, but it's people-less. So the only people that go in there are actually people when it's closed to restock the store. But other than that, there must be security there. There must be. But it's a complete cashless self-service Aldi in Greenwich in London. Okay. So we all remember self-scan. I think actually I was 17 when I first moved out of like the family home. And I remember there being, what was it called back? Self-scan in Sainsbury's. And my God, they would basically occasionally just check the odd bag. And so you would basically be sticking Jack Daniels in the bag at the bottom, big steaks, all this other shit that was worth money, DVDs, whatever, before we had all these little mechanisms and stuff, and these special little stickers that meant that if you pulled them off, the alarm went off, and if you walked through the barriers, the alarm went off. Before all that, he loves the wallet and watch. David, he did. I think I've got Moggy147 over on giving him Geezer a shout out, actually. Might get famous. Moggy147 down here on TikTok. He loves the wallet and watch. He does. Completely lost my train of thought, you bugger. So as we move into these cashless self-service, I remember when we basically did self-scan and we would load up on stuff and basically we were nicking straight up. That's what it was. That's what it is. You know that. I know that. Whatever. Sue me. So we were nicking stuff and we would scan. We'd be like, oh, yes, we got 5 bags. It's come to £4.70 because it was loaded fruit and veg. But they would always take just one bag, and then they'll check the items in that bag. And you're like, yeah, sure. But really, you've gone and pilfered like loads of booze and stuff in the bag at the bottom. I said that, well, I said it wasn't going to work, but of course it has worked, because then people do their self-scan. They do their self-scan. You can even do this other thing, isn't it, where it totals it up for you. I think you can actually do it on your phone now. You could probably like pre-do it on your phone, have the app or something, go in, go bump, 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 scan everything, pay for it, and straight out the back door. So then, of course, was just the kiosks, the actual less of a cashier, and you scan it through yourself. Self-scan. Just an evolution of doing it with the hand, right? But then that was a case of, does anyone else have fucking problems doing that? I do all right with it now, but 9 times out of 10, I'll be standing there and it'll go, oh, sorry, you've put something in the bag. And I'll be like, there is no fucking bag. And then I'll go, oh, okay, I need to move it over there. So move it there and goes, oh, sorry, you haven't scanned an item. I said, I just scanned the fucking item. So I move it back and he said, oh, please call somebody to help because you're a fucking idiot. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I'll stand there and some Doris comes walking over and goes, oh, frees me up, allows me to leave or whatever. And I'm like, oh. And then other times it works fine. The other day I was trying to do it and I was trying to scan through some reduced items. Oh, I was in a hurry too. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going doop, doop, Start there, put it over that side, make sure I've done it all really like a bloody spiffed out robot, just very slowly, ding, down. And it's going, sorry, we don't recognise that item. Oh, fuck's sake. In the end, then it didn't actually do the discount for the discounted stuff. So then we basically had to cancel the whole fucking order, and then she did it again. And I just went, she goes, oh, sorry. And I was went, oh, I know it's not your fault. I said, it does piss me off though. I said, because these fucking things replacing all your jobs. And you got one person running around after 10 little machines. A couple of them aren't working properly, or someone's a little bit special like me, and they can't scan an item and put it in a bag. And you're like, "Argh." But then to go and see that services and consumer goods, all this stuff is so much more expensive than it ever has. Cost of living, energy prices, fuel, and inflation itself up into like, it's bullshit if they say it's less than 10%. It's got to be close up to like 15% right now. And year on year, I know, because the people used to come in and check the prices in my pubs years ago, and the reason they were doing that was to check inflation. And it would always be like sort of 3.5%. And normally it's in line with sort of like wage increases and stuff like that. But if you noticed, I mean, I've noticed since 2008 when I lived here, well, I identified with living here full time. I don't anymore. There's a lot of things I don't identify with these days. So the cost of living versus how much wages you earn and how that goes up it's not in proportion, basically. So whether or not we end up having a global reset, whether digital currencies do end up taking over, whether they end up being cashless societies, where the only privacy that you really have now is to use cash and to be spontaneous, because your phone, there's cameras, there's surveillance, there's every time you make a purchase on your phone, on a card, that kind of thing. As David would say, from your wallet or your watch. So it's all being tracked and traced, even more so than a track and trace app that didn't work, that cost billions of pounds of taxpayers' money. So inflation is high. The restrictions and mandates are coming less, which is great. But what's been the energetic fallout on the masses? How many people have actually realised that, okay, even after electing certain people into power, and even after listening to them and doing as they told you to do, then realising that they've just gone and done their own fucking thing, that then they're basically lying to you? We're all being hoodwinked. All like puppets. Puppets from the Muppets. Jokes, really. Not repeating that, David. You're terribly rude, sir. So I'm going to jump off. I'm actually going to jump on another live. I'm doing a launch this weekend, guys. I've got a lot of people in my private group, a lot of people in my network, whether it be wanting to jump into knowing about some more digital assets, learning about what's happening with these NFTs, with the digital creator economy, what's happening with the decentralization revolution, and how you can get on board with that. I've been a digital entrepreneur for the past few years. I currently am part of a community of 6,000 people. I help people, and we have teams of people, micro little teams in there, of people that are creating freedom for themselves and others, using amazing, extraordinary tools on the internet, which are free for the asking. Anybody can get involved with this stuff, whether you want to get into high ticket affiliate marketing, whether you want to learn how to scale and profit from an online business. We have a school of marketing. We have a platform that can take you and your product and service and sell it anywhere, promote it anywhere on the internet. However, things are changing. Times are changing, as Jim Rohn would say, if anyone knows the self-development industry. Times are changing. There's a decentralization movement going on. There's a creator economy, which means, for instance, when I had over here on this one, because I got that one, and I got that one, and I got that one, going out to 10 places on Twitter. If I get a following on Twitter and people like it or send gifts and that kind of thing, you can actually create income from that. You could actually get, for instance, I had a live that had like 5,500 views when there had been a murder on the high street where I live, and I did there had been a car chase and the police were there. So I just went live and went, oh, what the fuck's going on? 5,500 views. That kind of thing done consistently would then be picked up by the creator fund, as it were, which billions of pounds have been put into this creator fund because people realize people are seeking connection from other people, real people, and they're not watching BBC and this and that. People are actually getting their information from other places. People are using like Netflix, Amazon Prime. They're using YouTube. They're using podcasts as a form of new kind of what would it be, like a network, a programming kind of thing. So you can go and get a program that you want to watch on YouTube. You can then go and watch a series on Netflix. You could be someone like an influencer or someone like myself that you like to see on a certain channel, and then what you do is you'll like either click on their stuff, you'll like their stuff, you might even go and join a subscription channel of someone that's got a big following, that kind of thing. And you'll trust the information they give you, you'll share and you'll like and seek inspiration from the stuff that they're talking about. And that's what I'm talking about decentralization and about the creator economy. The other day, actually, on TikTok, I did a live Q&A. I'm going to jump straight back onto TikTok and just talk about mindset in a moment, because the other day it worked really well. And I got some good engagement, good comments coming through. And a couple of the people on there, a couple of girls actually, that asked a couple of questions. I gave them some good advice, and they basically left stars. So the stars was like a gift. And then afterwards, I get this message saying, "Oh, thank you. You earned 49 diamonds." And I was like, "All right, what does that mean?" And that equated back meant money. So there was more people that it's through edutainment. It's edutainment because it's educating and it's entertainment. That is the sweet spot. But initially, the most people are going to actually interact on social media because of entertainment. That's why a video of a pussycat going gets more than someone standing there going, "Oh my God, my life is shit." Or if something's polarizing and a bit negative and a bit of an argument and a bit of a debate, then that's good content as well. So if you want to learn a bit more about that stuff, get over to the Personal Freedom Movement. You can get there very easily by going to the Personal Freedom Movement in Facebook. You'll find me. I'm Terry James. You even easier than that, in any search bar or even in a chat or whatever, you can just put in personalfreedom.terrylifestyle.com and then just press it. Send it, press it, and it'll take you straight through. Don't even want your email at this stage. I don't want your email. Just get yourself in there. We're a tribe, a movement of awake entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and awake people that are starting to slowly wake up to these narratives. There's information in there about how we can support and share resources. And REBOOT U'22 is being launched this weekend. It's an opportunity for people that want to actually get a bit of community, a little bit of support, a little bit of a better environment, and a bit of a plan to actually achieve their goals this year. It's only going to run for sort of 30 to 60 days. It's going to be like a 6-week program or something that you can just follow along to. And I'm not going to give too much away now. If you want to find out more about REBOOT U'22, how you can get the accountability, the mindset hacks, I'm going to hit this from 3 angles. I'm massive into my mind matter stuff. So we're talking about reprogramming techniques. We're talking about holistic practices. We're talking about hypnosis. We're talking about relaxation. We're talking about being healthy and wealthy. Well, that starts in your mindset. So the best way is to get healthy. So what are we drinking? How are we breathing? Are we exercising? These things. That married with relaxation. Yes, I know it might sound a bit mad right now, but that essentially is what will carry you and take you into the best version of yourself in life. Start with your mind, because that's where everything starts. As a thought, start with your mind. Get real clear about how you want to be, how you want to talk to yourself, where you want to go. And then we slowly take steps towards that. We don't have to run up a mountain. We just need to take the first steps. And after you have a plan to carry ourselves up there. Then there's a plethora of different modalities and frameworks that we can use, and I've got as tools, and I've done with clients over the years, coaching courses that I've done, and stuff that I've picked up and learned along the way. So to firsthand get invitations, because it's only going to be a limited time and a limited amount of people that can jump on board with this bespoke one-off program, it will be there for you in the Freedom Movement. So if you've liked this, give us a like, give us a hashtag replay, and I will be jumping straight away back onto TikTok and back into my private personal freedom movement. So if you like that shit, doggy, then get involved in it. Thank you very much, Lee. Speak to you all very soon. Right, coming out of there. Goodbye, TikTok. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, LinkedIn, and all of the faces of books. All the places on faces on the world of group book mastery. In layman's terms, by Facebook. See you later, guys.